Dharmic reflections will now color our screen of Chitramala. Here we provide you with detailed information on the latest up-to-date happenings at our own temple called Sri Siva Vishnu Temple, which is located in Lanham, Maryland. Let's take a look at this week's episode.
Namaste, I'm Nandini Mauli, and it is so great to see you all join us at this monthly series, Dharmic Reflections from Sri Siva Vishnu Temple. Here, we attempt to give you a very high level synopsis of Hindu philosophies, scriptures, religious holidays, and special events. Throughout time, God has come in many forms and names to reassure that He is there with all of us unconditionally. Some of these forms have been living and breathing, and some have been silent and in stone form. Among the silent ones, none is more popular than Sri Venkateshwara, the Lord who resides on the 7 hills of Tirumala, Tirupati, India. We see temples for Sri Venkateshwara not only in Tirumala but also throughout the world. Why is this form so highly worshipped? What is the specialty of Sri Venkateshwara? To talk about that, and also a very special event that is going to be conducted in his name, Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam by Sri Siva Vishnu Temple in May, I am joined by Shri Varadarajan and Shri Gopinath. Shri Varadarajan is living in Washington DC area and has been a long time volunteer at the temple. Shri Gopinath is a coordinator of the religious and publication committees at the temple. Varadu and Gopi, very nice to see you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll start off with you, Varadu. Why is Brahmotsavam conducted?
First of all, thank you, Nandini, for bringing me to this beautiful program, and thanks to all of your listeners today. Namo Namaha. Brahmotsavam is the grandest of the temple festival one can imagine and see anywhere, and Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam is probably the grandest among the grandest of the temple festivals here. As the name itself indicates, Brahma Utsavam which was conducted originally by Lord Brahma along with all of the other gods to Lord Venkateshwara at Saptagiri Hills, and that therefore it is called Brahmotsavam. Let's understand what Utsavam means. Utsavam means a festival, therefore clearly means that it is a group festival and a conduct, whereas Aradhanam and everyday Pujam is individual. So Utsavam is all together performed, and Brahma did it to Lord Narayana in the Venkateshwara forum along with all the gods. This Brahmotsavam, Nandini, is performed over 9 days in the month of Ashvayuja. The significance being that at the beginning of Kali Yuga, when it was known that the rest of Kali Yuga is a very evil sort of a yuga with little possibilities for redemption, Lord Narayana says that he will reside on Mother Earth at Venkatadri. For the whole of Kali Yuga he will be there to do nothing other than give darshanam and do the aradhanam for all the bhaktas. That is why Brahma thought that it is very fitting and appropriate to offer him his thanks and gratitude, and therefore conducts this 9-day festival called the Brahmotsavam. And the religious significance for the individuals like us, Nandini Mauli, is that when one participates in these kind of festivals, it cleanses your mind, it cleanses your heart, and the bonding and the very sort of the aura and the frequencies that you enjoy and experience is something you have to experience yourself. It is indescribable.
That's
So,
awesome.
Brahmotsavam is conducted in all temples. So, also going to be very soon in our Venkateshwara, SSVT temple. So, I'm glad to be here.
That's wonderful. That's a fantastic background of the festival itself. And Gopi, if I can call you Gopi or Gopal.
Whichever way is
All right.
yes,
So, we know that Lord Venkateshwara is placed uniquely in Hindu religion. Why is that?
It's a very nice question. Thank you for bringing me here first. Lord Venkateshwara is a pan-Hindu deity. What I mean by this is, people for many generations, maybe thousands if not many hundreds of years, irrespective of the philosophical traditions, religious sub-schools, or which god they worship at home, all of them invariably have paid obeisance to Lord Venkateshwara Tirupati. I would say, even claim that each and every Hindu who is living here would have at least one or two forefathers would have travelled up the hills and worshipped with all the difficulties in the past. So such is the universality of the deity. And like Varadu sir rightly mentioned, in Kali Yuga there is no Vishnu's avatara. So Vishnu decided, I will go myself and reside in Venkatadri hills and bless. So he married Padmavati there, he resides there. As his name indicates, Venkatesha, the literal meaning is the Lord Isha, who destroys the impurities or sins, Vem, easily. But like every syllable in Hindu scriptures, there are inner meanings, layers of meanings. So Venkatesha also means, the Vam is Amrita, immortality, Eem is Shakti, and Kata is the accumulation of wealth and prosperity, and he is the Lord of this, all this. So Venkatesha, while we pray to him in this Kali Yuga, in spite of what we are, who we are, he gives outer cleansing of the sins, like Varadu pointed out, also the inner tranquility and purity needed for salvation.
Beautiful.
That is why he is called as Kali Yuga Varada. In Kali Yuga, he is ready to give, ready to supply boons.
All we have to do is just
To pray to him.
appreciate him. Absolutely fantastic. Very good. Varadu, how is this glory revealed to us in the scriptures?
Certainly, very beautifully, said by, Gopal. Kali Yuga Varada, he is the one who gives everything. What does he give? Everything that you ask, all the Purusharthas, Chaturveda Purusharthas, he gives, and he only gives. And there is no Shishta Prashakshanam only is the objective of Venkateshwara here. Not just for us, it is very important to note that all the Devas are there every day waiting to see Venkateshwara, because they also get cleansed and purified, as the scriptures say that. And that is why in this particular yugam it is said that Venkatadri samam sthanam brahmande nasti kinchana Venkatesha sabodevo na bhuto na bhavishyati. There is no place like Venkatadri, and there is no Daivam in Kali Yugam like Venkatesha. That's what the Puranas and the scriptures tell us. Now, it is important to recognize that in the Puranas, Ashtadasha Puranas, or the 18 as we call it, scholars like Narayanacharya of Mysore, who have studied immensely, they say that out of 18, 12 Puranas glorify the various aspects of Srinivasa or Venkateshwara as he is known. And just to give some of the prominent Puranas which talk about the glory is Aditya Puranam, Brahmanda Puranam, Varaha Puranam, Skanda Puranam, Bhavishyotara Puranam, Padma Puranam, just to mention some of these various aspects of Venkatesha and his glory and his presence there are mentioned in different ways in all of these Puranas. When you bring them all together, it's called Venkateshwara Mahatmyam. So we also sing the glory of Venkateshwara Mahatmyam. The uniqueness of Venkateshwara also is because not only Brahma, Rudra and all the Devas, all the Sapta Rishis, all the Rishis, all the Alvars, all the Acharyas, everybody has gone
whole
there.
Hindu clan.
Entire clan. It is one Daivam, as you rightly said, Gopinath, that is worshipped and adorned by everyone. which is why it should be our life mission to go and take blessings from that. Even the later day saints like Purandara, Tyagaraja, all of them have sung the glory of Venkateshwara. When it comes to Agama, this is a very important aspect that we should bear in mind about Venkateshwara, especially at the Saptagiri hills. Agamas are the codified shastras of how a temple should conduct, how temple should be constructed. The do's and don'ts in the temple are all contained in Agamas. There are two Agamas associated with Vishnu Deva. It's called the Vaikhanasa Agamam and the Pancharatra Agamam. Vaikhanasa is the oldest of the Agamas, of all of the Agamas, and is basically a mantra pradhanam. It is all full of mantras and how one should conduct all the aspects in the Pancharatram is Tantra Pradhanam. It is talking about the various techniques of how to appease God, and therefore provides the flexibility to introduce the devotee's own way of performing, which is why when Ramanujacharya spent a year on the hills of Saptagiri learning Ramayana under Sri Shaila Purna, he was able to bring in and combine along with the mantram the Dravida Prabandhas of the Tamil lore. And therefore today, as we see all the Venkateshwara Kirtanas and all the Venkateshwara Archanas are performed according to Ramanuja's tradition, which is a blending of the Vaikhanasa Agama tradition and the Pancharatra Agama tradition. That is why it is called the Ubhaya Vedantam. The greatness and the glory of Venkateshwara is very beautifully captured in one of the beautiful slokams, which is Shriyakantaya Kalyana Nidhaye Nidhayerthinam Sri Venkatanivasaya Srinivasaya Mangalam Shubham.
Beautiful, very, very nicely said. And in particular, SSVT has been worshipping Sri Venkateshwara in a very, very authentic way on a daily basis. Gopal, how do we do this?
Sure. SSVT is not just another Hindu temple in North America, it's a kshetram. So kshetram is characterized by tree, by the deity, by the waters, by the land, by the people, all those, and you can see that in SSVT when you go in, you feel like you are entering an ancient temple in India, you will feel that. In particular, the way the Venkateshwara sanctum has been constructed and even envisioned by our founders is that it mimics almost all the main aspects of the main temple at Tirumala. For example, the Garbhagraha, the Perumal, the Swami, is a standing posture almost identical to Venkatajalapati Swami at Tirupati. He has a Shankha Chakra, 4 arms, and he is a little bit shorter in size than the Moola at in Tirupati. Is like a proxy, you would say that, so you won't have the full flavor, but a little bit shorter as the Agamas determined it to be. The Vimana, which is called as Ananda Nilaya in Tirupati, is mimicked here in concrete. And we have the Vimana Venkatesha in Tirupati in a golden covered Vimana. You will have Srinivasa standing there. You find on the western side of the temple sanctum, you will find on the roof there's a solar glass panel on the roof. You can see the Vimana Srinivasa. Below, and then Bhuvaraha Swami, the Varaha, is a Kshetra in charge. He is the master of the Kshetra. And his sanctum in the Koshta and the wall is there in SSVT. In addition, why it also become why Vishnu Kshetra is that you have an aspect of Chakra, Sudarshan Alvar and Narsimha, from the way it is there in Sriranga, another sacred Vaishnava place there. And then very interestingly at SSVT, you have Swami standing, lying down as Ananta Padmanabha, and also sitting especially in a Bhadrachala Rama posture. Very rarely all the 3 forms are given equal importance in temples. Usually there will be small sanctums, but here, being a special kshetra, you have this, and all the pujas are conducted by according to Pancharatra Agama. We have priests who have equivalent to MA and PhDs in Agamas. They are from different Telugu and linguistic traditions, Kannada traditions, but they all follow the same Agamas procedures.
Very, very nice to know this background. And I know about the Brahmotsavam the temple has been planning in a grand manner to celebrate this. Can you say something about it?
The Brahmotsavam this year is going to be conducted on May 24th to 28th. So it's very interesting. The Brahmotsavam has only 3 days because of this setup, but it has a beginning day and ending day as a 5-day event. Every day there's a Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama Parayanam and Homam and the Satumare and all the traditional rituals. But on Saturday, the 108 Kalasabhishekam to Swami is going to happen, and with it's one of the very happy occasion, a Divya Alankaram, beautiful decoration. In the afternoon, Swami is going to come in a Garuda Vahana. If you are going to not to go to Tirupati this year, you can see the Garuda Vahana at SSVT. And in the end, in the evening, the Sahasra Deepa Utsava in a smaller scale like in Tirupati is going to be held. Sunday is very auspicious. We have in a conclusion of the puja marked by Kalyanam, Srinivasa Kalyanam. The Kalyanam is called Shobhanam, Shubham, Shobhanam. Shubham is auspiciousness. Auspiciousness happens in human lives in world when all things come together. The Purusha and Prakriti, feminine and masculine forms, is embodied as a Perumal and his wife, divine spouse. They are brought together as a Shobhanam, a completion, divine union, not for one person's satisfaction, Loka Hitartham, for the welfare of the whole country. Being a capital temple, we pray for the welfare of the whole country as it is. And then we are going to have Rathotsavam, where Varadu pointed out, even Devas and good souls come and seek the blessings. So the Brahmotsavam is like an open house. You don't need a VIP ticket, you don't need a special entrance. You can access the divine grace just by being there.
Beautiful.
And then one thing I want to say to the audience, the Brahmotsavam has to be celebrated by community participation. Each and every individual has to give material or physical seva, kar seva like they say in Sikh religion. We have to offer, you can offer materials for homam, for abhishekam, vastram, for decoration, pushpam. Just being there as a devotee itself is a reward. So that's our sincere prayer that we all come together on the 5 days, at least on 28th, 27th and 28th at SSVT to get the divine blessings.
That's so awesome. Friends, last month we talked about the philosopher Sri Ramanuja Acharya. As Varadu pointed out, it was actually Sri Ramanuja Acharya who gave the very specific form Sri Venkateshwara at the Tirumala temple and codified the agamas and procedures for the worship. So now you can see the link between our topics. We are so blessed to talk about these at our show Dharmic Reflections from Sri Siva Vishnu Temple. In fact, I would say that the temple verily is a catalyst for imparting a strong foundation in Hinduism for all its devotees, especially the next generation. We encourage you all to explore deeper, travel with us more in this journey by participating in educational seminars, special utsavs that Gopi and Varadarajan talked about today, and also take in as much as you want. We look forward to seeing you at the Brahmotsavam from May 24th through 28th, and I'm sure you will carry very special memories for this Memorial Day weekend. Until then, namaste from me, Nandini Mauli, along with my guests Shri Varadarajan and Shri Gopinath.
Namaste.
Thank you for tuning to us. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.